Greetings, friends. It's Pat at Dancing Moon Travel, and I'm back with another exciting episode of Let's Talk Travel. Now, if you follow us on Facebook, and you can very easily just go to Google Dancing Moon Travel Facebook, and you'll find us out there. But if you follow us on Facebook, you will know that the Big Hand and I recently had occasion to do a fabulous Alaska itinerary, sailed round trip out of Vancouver on Holland America's fabulous Koningsdam. It was a great experience, and I just want to share with you some of the information about our cruise. Now, first of all, we sailed out of Vancouver round trip. We did the standard 7-night inner passage, inside passage, Alaska. That's classic. Usually people sail either Seattle or Vancouver round trip for those. And our embarkation, aside from we drove in there and finding the pier was a bit of a challenge. It's not immediately apparent, unlike down here in Florida, where you see the big ships and things. You go into an underground parking garage and it's just there, but you don't really see it from the road. So we were kind of wandering in the wilderness for a bit there. But embarkation, other than that, was pretty painless, other than a rather startling experience when Marvin's scooter decided to run away with him. The throttle stuck and sent him rocketing through the stanchions. Fortunately, he nor anyone else was injured, but it was, I honestly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was just like, oh my goodness. He was going wide open. I'm like, stop. But no one was injured, and we ended up getting on the ship without too much further ado. Our stateroom was ready by the time we got on board, which is always a plus. So all went well with our embarkation. Passports, this time his passport scanned without any incident, which our last cruise, we had some trouble with that working, but it's always going to be something, isn't it? Now, talking about first our accommodations. Now, we sailed in a standard balcony stateroom, which we typically do. As you've picked up on, if you don't already know, my husband travels with a small electric scooter. Very frequently, our opportunities to cruise are close-in dates, and accessible staterooms are already long since booked. So we will travel in a standard balcony stateroom, and we remove the arms for those of you who might travel the same way with an accessible with a scooter. We remove the arms from his small scooter. Now his scooter is one of the smaller 3-wheel varieties, and we remove the arms and just makes them fit very easily in through the standard balcony stateroom door. Now it does take up some room in the and so things are very cozy for us with the scooter, but we manage, and it's workable, and so we're able to take advantage of some offers that come our way. As with me being a travel advisor, sometimes we just get a last minute offer, and folks, I want to jump on that with both feet, because I love to cruise, and I love to cruise more when I am getting a great travel agent deal. But anyway, our stateroom was more than adequate. We were able to access it just fine. Storage was great. We unpacked the luggage slid, despite the fact that we were traveling with 3 big pieces of luggage. There's one of us that is an overpacker, and since it's just, folks, it's not me. I won't point fingers, but I will say that it's not me. And so we, somebody in the two of us just believes if you own it, take it. But, going to Alaska, you do have a good bit of needs, because you have to have the outerwear. Living in Florida, I had to buy a new coat because I didn't have that. I got one of those puffer varieties with the nylon shell and the fake down, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. If you have Alaska on your list of places to go in the near future, recommend those puffer jackets. They are fabulous. They keep you warm and toasty, and they squish down to almost nothing and don't take up a lot of room in your luggage. So great plan there if you need to get something for an Alaska trip. Anyway, we were in a balcony stateroom on deck 6. We were far on the starboard side, way aft, and that turns out that we love those aft locations. When we're ready to go to dinner, it just means a few steps out of the room and down to the location of the dining room. In this case, on the Koningsdam, that's decks 2 and 3, depending on what your seating assignment is. But we really enjoyed that location. Our balcony was typical. I mean, everything was pretty. If you've been on a cruise, pretty typical. You know, the rooms are cozy, not spacious as far as your standard balcony rooms go, but they have everything you need. Your bed was very comfortable. Bathroom was small, but had a very well designed large glass shower, which we appreciate very much. And we had a small love seat size sofa and great work area with the desk and a good solid chair for me to work from, because I always am working several hours a day, even when on quote vacation. Our room was very quiet back there on deck 6, not surprising at all, since nothing above or below us, but more staterooms. So very good location. Would recommend that for anybody. The onboard decor on the ship is just quintessential Holland America. It has some elegance, not stuffy, but traditional, beautiful, well thought out, lovely. We sailed on the Stateroom, actually our last cruise in February before Marvin broke his hip. What had been on Holland America's Stateroom, and it was just very. In fact, I was hard pressed to find any differences between these sister ships. Having been recently on Stateroom, I really didn't find anything on board Koningsdam that didn't feel very familiar. Knew my way around without any having to check anything out. I knew where everything was located because the ships are virtually identical. Entertainment on board Koningsdam, it was very solid. Again, very typical Holland America. Do not get on Holland America and expect big aqua shows and huge production numbers with aerial performances and things like that. No belly flop contests or hairy chest contests. No race cars or roller coasters, nothing like that. They are very, very traditional. With you'll have your entertainment shows, lots of lectures and enrichment opportunities on board. Just a quieter sort of traditional cruise experience. Music lovers will love Holland America. They are an outstanding choice for passengers who appreciate a traditional cruise experience. You're not looking for crazy entertainment and activities going on 24/7. Just a very, very solid cruise experience. Music lovers, they have wonderful music with Lincoln Center Stage. B.B. King's Blues Club is very popular, and particularly Rolling Stone Rock Room on this particular ship was really rocking it. It was great, and it was very popular. And that just is a word to the wise. If you want to get a seat, go early, because they are very popular venues, and the seating does fill up. So you want to get in there and get your place staked out before the performance begins. Now, other activities, like I said, you're going to have lectures and trivia and bingo, movies on the big screen, and so forth and so on. Now, one thing that I didn't take with me And folks, I highly recommend don't leave your swimsuit at home, even if you are sailing to Alaska. I want to tell you, with that domed pool, uh, it was very toasty. It was very comfortable. And I was having a bite to eat out there. They've got a couple of great poolside things. You can get ice cream, gelato, or hot dogs and burgers, the hot dogs were really, really good. I had one, and I'll tell you that that hot tub was calling my name, and I had no swimsuit. So I was really kind of giving myself a lecture. Throw it in, it doesn't take up any room. Don't wish you had it and not. Now, dining. Now, we were sailing with a group of travel advisors. It was a seminar at sea. So our dining was mostly taken up this time around. We would dine each evening with a different provider, get acquainted and socialize with people in the industry, cruise lines, insurance providers, uh, tour companies, pretty much all kinds of things, providers in the industry. This was an opportunity. They had seminars on board where we learned more in depth about their offerings, and we just had an opportunity to socialize and hang out and get acquainted, so they know who we are, we know them. And I mean, like I connected. I had a great connection with travel insured's claims supervisor on board, and was able to check on a pending claim for my clients. So these opportunities for us to connect with providers that we work with, it's priceless, because we get to make that personal connection, and we're not just faceless agents anymore, because they know who we are, and we can talk about our concerns. We share our what we love about we give them tips about what would be helpful. So it's a great interaction, and I take advantage of that at every opportunity. Of course, I love when it happens on a cruise ship. That's right up my alley. But that time is well spent, and it is working time. It's not just social time, uh, and it's just priceless. Now, moving on to the dining, I was telling you that most evenings we ate with at 7:30 with one of our providers. They each hosted us at their table each evening. I found the food to be, as Holland America typically is, very good. Beef dishes, especially, usually exceeded expectations. Soup, appetizers. Some of the appetizers were particularly good. Entrees consistently good. We never had any difficulty finding something that caught our fancy for dinner each evening. Um, Service. Now, folks, I have to say that a couple of evenings, the service just seemed excruciatingly slow. It was I don't know what happens on those evenings. Some evenings it was fine, but there were just a couple of evenings. I don't know if it depended on them having to wait on a particular entree or what it was, but there were just a couple of evenings when it was very, very slow. Another point that I would just critique is, Holland America is not offering a single night on a 7-night cruise where they feature lobster without a surcharge. Now, you can get it every night. You can eat lobster every night if you're willing to pay the surcharge. And frankly, we splurged a couple of evenings and enjoyed lobster a couple of nights. But it would be really nice if they brought back lobster night one night on a 7-night cruise, folks. Even the popularly priced lines, Carnival and Royal Caribbean, they offer lobster. There's always a night that's featuring lobster, and people, it's just been a point of criticism from our clients when they come home from a Holland America cruise. That and the fact that shrimp cocktail is only available on a limited basis on formal nights as well. So, anyway, you still get a freebie on those mainline. It just kind of makes me scratch my head, because how much more could it cost them to be able to provide that one night at least with featuring a lobster entree. Now, when we splurged on that, the lobster tails were huge. They were delicious, tad overcooked, I would say, but just a shame to overcook. I mean, they weren't bad. They were just a little bit on the tough side. I think one less minute in the broiler would have taken care of that. But anyway, dining was overall exceptionally good. We enjoyed it. We loved it. We looked forward to dinner each night and always were able to find something, or more often than not, having to figure out which of several somethings we wanted to do. Now, as for alternative dining, the premium dining, we splurged a couple of evenings there as well. You know me, I'm always going to talk about the food. We had dinner at Rudy's Sel de Mer one night. That's a perennial favorite with our kind of seafood with a little bit of a French flair. And both of these, we also did the Pinnacle Grill. Both of these, if you want to celebrate a special occasion, or you just want a special dinner, a night out with your companion, it is a wonderful splurge and definitely worth the surcharge as far as we are concerned. Food and service in both venues were absolutely amazing. I just give honorable mention to the escargot, to the also to the what was the other thing? Oh, the crab cakes. The crab cakes. I knew there was something else. Thought they were the best we've ever eaten anywhere. I believe that was at Rudy's. No, maybe that was probably at the Pinnacle Grill that we had the crab cakes. Both of those were absolutely good. There was one night, you can't get escargot every night in the main dining room either, but they did have featured that one night without a surcharge, and it was equally good. Different preparation from the steak from Rudy's, but the main dining room's preparation of the escargot was actually exceptional as well. If you are a fan of this, and I know not everybody is, but if you share our enthusiasm for escargot, HAL is a great place to indulge that yearning, because it is very, very good. Another little dining gem on board Holland America that I always enjoy is the Dutch Cafe on the Koningsdam and New Statendam. It is on deck 3, about midship. And they just have a few little items on the menu. You go up to the counter and order, and then they bring you the food. They have specialty coffees. You can get your cappuccino, whatever you might fancy in the way of specialty coffee. And they have a bar menu there as well. Great place to do some serious people watching. They do have a kind of a side room with windows and a water view if you just want to hang out. Great hangout there. They have pea soup, some a little Dutch-inspired kind of menu there with the Dutch pancakes and several. That was another thing. I ordered the Dutch pancakes one day, and they arrived at the table with, they're supposed to be served with powdered sugar, and so they just came. They were just a pile of little pancakes with nothing on them. Now, I'm sorry, but who wants to eat a pancake without powdered sugar or something sweet or fruit or something on the side? They just brought out the pancakes, no butter, no nothing. And of course, I didn't. I ate a bite or two, but it was not good. I don't understand that. Out of powdered sugar? Really? Send to the kitchen, get it. Just, I can't believe there's a shortage of powdered sugar that I haven't heard about yet. So anyway, those are just little quirks, small little things, but I just thought I'd mention those. Anyway, for the most part, the Dutch Cafe is a great place to just sit around for a little bit, enjoy a beverage and some people watching. The buffet. Now, I know I'm spending a lot of time on food, but that's just me. There may be some other foodies out there as well. We only hit the buffet when the dining room isn't open for lunch. We go to the dining room, and part of that is we just enjoy sitting down and having the luxury of a table service for our meals. It's just really enjoyable, and Hal has the tablecloths and great wait staff and everything. So we enjoyed that. In fact, with the dining that we did in the evening, we didn't have a set waiter for our evening meals. And but we did sit in the same place pretty much every morning, and we had a delightful waiter there, and we actually tipped him some extra because he took such good care of us in the mornings, because we ate breakfast in his section of the dining room pretty much every day. But we did hit the buffet a couple of times when the dining room wasn't open for lunch when in port, and frankly, food was good, but I thought the lunchtime offerings were just, I would say, tediously repetitive. It just seemed to me it was the same song, every verse. You just know, you can't ride in my way, red wagon sort of thing. There wasn't anything to me, unless I missed something, which is possible, but I just didn't see anything remarkable or different at any of the lunchtime offerings. It was just rolling out the same thing. And though we only did it a couple or 3 days, I was bored with it. Just being honest, folks. Definitely, I'm sure the evening offerings are reflective of what's being served in the dining room, an entirely different experience. But in my estimation, when it comes to lunchtime, Hal, you could do better on that one. Now, itinerary. What can I say about Alaska? It's incredible. We sailed a very standard itinerary. We did Juneau and Ketchikan, Skagway, um, and it was, it was very, very lovely. We really enjoyed it. Alaska, folks, has something for everyone. The scenery, get the balcony at least. Go to the explorations area up on deck 14. I believe it's deck 14 forward, with the expansive floor to ceiling windows and comfortable seating. Get those bird's eye views. But absolutely, just the scenery is enough to take your breath away, for if nothing else. Glacier Bay, absolutely stunning. I cannot tell you. If you do an Alaska itinerary, try to include Glacier Bay, because it will come in as unforgettable, I guarantee. This is our second time doing Glacier Bay, and to me, this was more special than the first time. I really, really enjoyed it. It's unforgettable. Here I am telling everybody about it. But the glaciers, the mountains, just the breathtaking scenery. We saw a bear on the shore. Now, it was as far as I could see, even with my binoculars, I wasn't able to get a really good thing. But I could see, it was a moving thing there on the shore. I couldn't see any detail, but it was there. So technically, we saw a bear. But it was absolutely amazing. We did another one excursion that I recommend to our clients frequently, and I'll recommend it here. The White Pass Rail. If you're an armchair adventurer like we are these days, and you're not out there for hiking and kayaking and all of the myriad of active excursion options that are available in Alaska, we really enjoy the White Pass Rail up the mountainside. And if you do the round trip on the rail, as we did, it doesn't matter on which side of the rail car you sit. Now, if you're doing it one way, you want to be on the outside where you're going to see more. You don't want to be sitting up against the wall of the mountain. But if you're doing the round trip, it doesn't matter, because on one on the way up and one on the way down. And that's pretty much kind of what I would recommend doing. But the scenery is spectacular. I don't have any pictures to post on this because I had to put it together quickly today, and I just have so much work. I'm glad to have so much work, but I just didn't have time to get all those photographs loaded and formatted for this presentation. You can catch a lot of that if you just go to our Facebook page. You'll see a lot of our photographs up there. Just Google dancingmoontravel.com or Dancing Moon Travel Facebook, and you'll find us out there, and a lot of pictures posted and you will enjoy those, I'm sure. But in addition to the incredible views when you do the Skagway White Pass Rail, you will learn a lot of the history from the Gold Rush era and come to appreciate these people. I mean, these guys that did this Gold Rush, the hardships that they endured. You'll see places where landslides killed a couple of them, and their bodies never recovered. There's a cross there on the mountainside where there's 5-ton boulder. Maybe more than maybe 50 tons. I don't remember, but crashed down, and they never could. But there's a cross where their bodies of them and their pack animals lie. But it gives you a great glimpse into the history of that era and the building also of the railroad up this mountainside. Very fascinating. So anyway, there you have it, folks. This is just kind of a rundown of our experience when we sailed to Alaska last month on Holland America's Koningsdam. Overall, fabulous. I give it a 4.8 on a scale of 5. Just amazing. Now, all of you know that we always give something away. We have a drawing just for our live listeners. So if you're listening live tonight, you can enter in the comments section. I want you to enter Alaska Adventure in the comments, only live listeners now. And I'm going to give away another set of these great travel coasters. These are the stone coasters, beautiful quality coasters. And you can if you've already won a set, get a set and give them as a gift. Great to encourage other people to enjoy your passion for travel. So enter Alaska Adventure, and someone of our live listeners is going to win a set of those coasters this evening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And if you are watching us on an instant replay, we're thankful to have you out there as well. We know most of our views actually come after the fact for our once we are posted on YouTube, or you catch us later on our Facebook page. But thank you so much for tuning in, whether live or if you're catching us on a replay. We appreciate you, and let us know if ever we can help you with anything. It's easy to get hold of us here. You just contact me here at Dancing Moon Travel. You can email pat@dancingmoontravel.com. Call me up at 404-735-5774, or go to our dancingmoontravel.com website and contact any one of our agents. We have now, there's 6 of us scattered around strategically around the country to better serve your travel needs, and everybody's contact information is right up there, dancingmoontravel.com. Check us out and choose an agent that you think you would like to work with. You'll find all of us up there with the website with a little bit about our bios and background and passion for travel. Thanks again, everybody. See you again next time. Every week, catch us here for another episode of Let's Talk Travel. Bye, everybody.